I just believe that connection and relationship is such a central human need, and it's one that we often ignore in our culture. And so I really want to bring attention to that in the work that I do. My name is Stephanie Lee, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker who works in private practice with adults and couples around healing their relationships. I really go by the philosophy of unconditional positive regard. And the idea is that, we really come to the table with a lot of humility, with a lot of knowledge of our own, struggles and trials, and believing that everyone else has their story and is walking their own path. I really try to create a very safe, non-judgmental space by always making sure I'm in that place of humility where I can regard the other with the benefit of the doubt, with the most positivity and curiosity as possible instead of judgment. Paired with that is empathy. I feel like one of the reasons why I'm able to build a strong rapport with clients is that I'm able to really hear what they're going through and connect my own experience, my own struggles with what they're going through. Yes, my story might be different, but I can really identify with, how they might be feeling and why, as I draw from my own life and the things that I've worked through. Really deep down, people know what they need to heal. They know what they need to take care of themselves. They know what they need to better their lives. But I'm here to make the space within themselves and in our relationship safe enough that they can really explore those depths. And so for me, a lot of it is creating enough safety in a person where they can heal their relationships with themselves, they can work through the shame that they have, and then that reflects outward into their relationships with others. That's why I love working with relationships, because we can actually see the results. We can see things change in their relationships. People who come to me and to be able to say, hey, I did this thing that a year ago or 2 years ago, or when I started working with you, I never would have been able to do, is always so exciting.
Down. Roll over. Yes. Good
So
job.
for a while I worked at a nonprofit with homeless adults, but people with a home or without a home could all come together and feel safe and welcome and included and connect over a shared humanity. And so in that opportunity, when I would get to know people who were living on the streets or struggling to meet what we consider their basic needs, it really brought home that how much relationships is a basic need. And when they had time to confide in me and share about what was going on in their life, it wasn't, please find me housing, or it was like, oh, my ex-girlfriend, my mom, or, it was always about relationships. And so as I prepared for my private practice and what I wanted to work around, I was like, how can we work on the relationships in our lives? Ultimately, bringing it to the relationship with ourselves and how that reflects in how we show up in our relationships with others. When we first moved to the Bay Area, I actually started a group that supported Asian American creatives. So my husband and I decided to open up our home, have people over, and so we would do dumplings and drink and have a good time. But then we would sort of open up like a space on the living room where people could get up and they could show their artwork, or they could perform a dance, or they could show a film they made or photos they took on our TV and show off their talents. And so this was a really awesome opportunity for people to come together and heal, but in a way that was fun and that just celebrated creativity and celebrated life and came together across shared passions. When we're feeling these really difficult emotions, it's our body telling us that our needs aren't met. And I'm just finding that loneliness is a huge growing epidemic. I just started a parent coaching training that I'm going to be doing this next year to become a certified parent coach. I'm hoping to bring parents together to build community, to share what they're going through, coming together over this shared experience of raising children in our society. I would love to have like a big space where parents who work from home could co-work in the space, but then there's also a space for kids to hang out, younger kids maybe during the day, and then after school, kids could come and they could do their homework, and if the parents are there, they're available. We could all chip in with what the subjects we're good at and help tutor the kids or help them with homework. We could bring our lunches, bring our dinners, eat together, and then maybe have events in the evenings or the weekends. But just create a community space where people are there because they want to meet other families, they want to be in community, I really believe that if we can make society a healthier place, people will naturally be healthier, and maybe they won't need as much therapy because their needs are met. We need community, we need people, we need each other. And when we have that, I think that is really the best remedy for stress and anxiety and fear and depression and all of these things.